Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I use a needle and a yarn to stitch braids. Keep on watching. Hi guys, and welcome back. So I have already sectioned the hair. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take out the section, the baby hair section, and then where I'm gonna start braiding the hair from. Okay, so after sectioning and combing, I'm gonna be using this Ula the Lock Life edge control to lay down, to slick down the hair. Okay, I'll apply it on every part of the hair from the beginning all through to the end. Okay, so when I'm done applying it all through to the end, the next thing I'm going to do is to comb this hair. And then when I'm combing, I'm going to comb it in a way that I'm going to stitch the braids. So anyhow you know you want to stitch the braids, you want the braids to go, that's the same way you have to comb the hair. Okay, comb it very well according to how you're going to stitch the braids. Yeah, so when I finish combing the hair really nicely the way I want to stitch the braids, I'll go on ahead to use my two hands to make it lie down, and I'll take it upwards in a way that when I'm stitching just like this, it will work well. So I'm going to be using this yarn, and then I'll put it in a needle before I start stitching the braids. Okay guys, it's time to start stitching. So I'll put the thread where the hair is and hold it down with the hair with my left hand, then use my right hand, and then I'll start stitching the braids. Okay, so at this point you are stitching the braids anyhow you want to stitch the braids. Whether you want the gaps to be big, stitch it big. If you want the gaps to be small, stitch it small. Okay, so I'm just going to be stitching this hair little by little until I'm done. So as I go, I'll use my left hand to take out the white residues that the edge control is bringing, but mind you, it doesn't leave a white residue. It's just the gel. Because of the thread is pulling the gel out, so you have to use your hands to clean it off as you go. So this is basically how you stitch braids with the needle and the thread. Okay, when I'm done with this process, I'm going to also come and show you another way you can also stitch braids. For those people who can't stitch braids at all, who can't feed in braids, this is the way you can stitch the braids and make it look really, really nice. So this is called a running stitch. Okay, so you run the stitch step by step, little by little, holding the hair with the left hand and working around with the right hand, working around with the needle with the right hand. Okay, so when I'm done with this process, I'm also going to show you how you can add the extension to it. Keep on watching. Okay guys, this is the next process. Okay, I'm going to take out the baby hair section, then I'll go ahead and apply the same edge control hair wax that I showed to you earlier on. And like I mentioned to you before, make sure you comb it according to how you want to stitch the braid. The next thing, I'm going to be taking this in sections, and then I'm going to braid it just like you can see. So this pattern is also very simple for those who can't also feed in braids. Yeah, so all you have to do is you take the hair into sections, like in sections like the way you've seen, step step by step in sections. You comb the hair, then you go ahead and then you braid the hair. When you braid, just braid, make sure that you are securing it nicely and tightly, but not so tight. Okay, so when you are done, you put it down and then you go on ahead to do the same thing. So this is how you continue taking the hairs in sections and braiding until you get to the end. Keep on watching. Okay guys, so when I finish, this is what it actually looks like. Okay, so we have different types of stitch braids, and then I'll show you how to add the extension. So next step, I'm going to be braiding this part. Okay, so I'm going to start picking from the hair that I left on. That's where I'm going to start from, and then I'll use a small extension to start it up. When I start braiding it, and then I'll start adding another extension to it, but then I'm going to use it step by step. The extension I'm going to start is going to be small. So when I start and I cross the hair, I'll leave one part out. I don't pick the other part inside, then I return it and take it back to this part. Then I pick another extension. I add and I leave it out and I pass it through. Okay, so it's simple. Just watch what I'm doing. Okay, when I pick an extension, okay, and I cross it like I'm braiding, I'm not going to take the other part in, the one on my left part. I'm going to drop it and then bring it back to my right part and feed it in. Okay, so this is how I'm going to keep doing this until I'm done with braiding the hair. Don't forget that when you are crossing it, don't take in the one on the left part, feed it in back into the one on the right hand. Okay, I'll explain that again. Pick an extension, cross it, and then drop the one on the left side, and then use your right to pick it back into the right side. That's how you braid. I'm going to do this until I'm done with this side of the braid. Keep on watching. Okay guys, getting to this step, I'm going to start using the crochet pin, okay, to add the extension just like you can see. So I'm going to be adding the extensions step by step according to the way I've stitched the braids, but please don't leave the gap. Let the gap not be too far. If it's too far, it wouldn't be nice, okay, but then don't make it too close either. If it's too close, the braids will be too bulky, okay, and then it wouldn't be nice. Yeah, so just feed in the extensions into the stitch that we made initially with the crocheting pin. Okay, so when I get to the end, I'll start braiding. So I'll start braiding from the parts that were left in front. Remember, I always leave a part in front so that I can always start the braids with. So I use an extension and then start the braids. Okay, So when I start the braids and I'm gonna braid, then I'll pick hair and then add it up, and then don't forget that you have to drop the left hand side out and feed it into the right part here. So this is what I'm gonna do in just 2 different occasions. I'll repeat it again right here, like you can see, and then when I'm done, I'll now start feeding in those ones that we use the crocheting pin to do. So feeding this one step by step. When you take this part, you take this part, then you braid. I'm sure you understand what I'm doing. You take this part, you cross, you take this part, and then you braid. So this is how you're also going to braid this hair until you are done. Keep on watching. Okay guys, when I finished braiding, I went on ahead to cut the excess. The top part of this hair didn't even have an excess, it was just the down there. And then she went to do her own makeup. I soaked in the hot water. Okay, when I finished soaking in hot water, I had to take the hair into sections because she said she didn't want the hair falling on her. I had to hold the 2 parts of the hair. Okay, I divided it into 2 because it was 6 braids altogether. So I put 3 into a section and 3 into a section. Then I wrapped it the way you can see. Okay, when I finished wrapping the hair just the way you can see, the next thing I went on ahead to do is to use a hair that I curled down with a Flexi rods right here. I curled it down already long time ago. I didn't know I was going to actually do this style, but when the style came up, I had to just use it to make the hair look more fancy. Okay, so I'm going to split this hair into 3 different sections or 4 different sections, so the curls will look more natural, like it's a human hair curls that we've used out there. Okay, so when I finish, I use the crocheting pin to attach it to the hair, just like you can see. This hair was all shades of beautiful. When she saw the style, she sent it to me that she wanted to braid it. I told her that I will only braid for her if she will sit in front of the camera because I don't really braid clients' hair. Braiding takes a whole lot of time and the money involved is really small. I only braid my own hair, but then I'm a professional makeup artist and a bridal hairstylist. That's what I do. Okay, so when I finished attaching the curls to the hair, I'll go on and ahead to trim off the tips, any excess part that is out because it feels too long. I'm gonna trim it off. When I finish with this part, I did the other part as well. So when I finish, I also had to attach the curly hair in front of her hair. Look at how beautiful this hair is. And when I finished the whole process, voila, this hair was all shades of beautiful. Look at the style now. Tell me why you cannot stitch braids with needle and thread. Thank you so much guys for watching. Thank you for sticking with your girl after this point. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. I love you and I'm praying for you. Bye.